With Gruden back in the NFL, here's 5 reasons why the Raiders will be back in the playoffs. 1. John Gruden was hired to make the most of Derek Carr, who played like an MVP in 2016 before breaking his leg. Last year he played with broken bones in his back. Ouch. Now healthy, it isn't wish casting to ask him to be a top 10 QB.
To the end zone. Touchdown!
2. Khalil Mack. Yes, he's been away from the team. Yes, he needs to learn the defense. And yes, we aren't concerned about any of that. Mack remains one of the most dangerous and versatile defensive assets league-wide. 3. Amari Cooper is coming off a down year. In Oakland, who isn't? Still, Gruden has shown high faith in his lead wideout. It's easy to forget Cooper is just 23. He's a logical candidate for a major bounce back. 4. Look for the Raiders to get major help from their rookies. The early word on first-round offensive tackle Colton Miller is promising. On defense, P.J. Hall and Arden Key bring depth to a unit that needs it. 5. Look, this all boils down to Gruden. He's under pressure to flip the switch, but he's also the guy who's done it before. If the Raiders have what they think they have, one of the game's top coaches, bright days ahead.
17 years later, John Gruden returns to the silver and black.
How about those Raiders, man?
It's a 10-year, $100 million deal for Gruden in his return to the Bay. He coached the Raiders from 1998 to 2001 and spent the last 9 seasons in the broadcast booth for Monday Night Football. Oakland parted ways with veteran receiver Michael Crabtree after 3 solid seasons. Crabtree's cap hit was set to be nearly $8 million in 2018. Gruden's Raiders countered Crabtree's release with the additions of Jordy Nelson and Martavis Bryant. Nelson signed a 2-year deal with Oakland, while Bryant was acquired in a draft day trade. Charismatic punter Marquette King was surprisingly released in March, eventually signing with the Broncos. The move saved Oakland nearly $3 million in 2018. Marshawn Lynch gets some company in the Raiders' backfield. Oakland signed veteran running back Doug Martin to a 1-year deal. Martin had 2 1,400-yard seasons in Tampa Bay. He said farewell to 25-year-old cornerback Marcus Peters and his 19 career interceptions. A surprising trade since Peters to the Rams for a 4th-round pick in 2018 and 2nd-round pick in 2019.
This Chiefs team's still very young on offense and a chance to be very, very good.
Well, Patrick Mahomes is now the guy in Kansas City. All eyes will be on the 22-year-old after the Chiefs traded 3-time Pro Bowler Alex Smith to the Redskins. He'll get another target to throw to as 5th-year receiver Sammy Watkins joins the Chiefs on a 3-year, $48 million deal. Watkins had 8 touchdowns with the Rams in 2017. KC's defensive overhaul continued with the release of veteran linebackers Tamba Hali and Derek Johnson. Hali made 5 Pro Bowls with the Chiefs, while Johnson leads the franchise in all-time tackles. Monday night in Mexico City, the Chiefs and Rams will battle it out in one of 4 international games this season. Denver's all in on Case Keenum. John Elway didn't waste any time signing the free agent quarterback to a 2-year, $36 million deal. Keenum led Minnesota to the NFC Championship game in 2017. The Broncos released 5th-year running back C.J. Anderson after his first career 1,000-yard season. That leaves Devontae Booker and rookie Royce Freeman in the Denver backfield. Who's going to stop the Broncos' pass rush? 5th overall pick Bradley Chubb joins Pro Bowler Von Miller and defensive end Shane Ray in the Denver front 7. Quarterback Trevor Siemian was traded to Minnesota after a rough 2017 campaign. He went 13-11 in 24 career starts in Denver. Paxton Lynch is expected to be Keenum's backup in 2018. Farewell Aqib Talib. The Broncos sent the Pro Bowl corner to the Rams in return for a 5th-round pick. Talib had 6 defensive touchdowns in 4 seasons. For the first time since 2002, the Chargers will take the field without Antonio Gates on their roster. LA opted to let the 16-year veteran test free agency. The future Hall of Famer has the most touchdowns of any tight end in NFL history. The man who is expected to replace Gates will miss the entire 2018 season. Hunter Henry suffered a torn ACL during OTAs in May. He had 12 total touchdowns in the last 2 years. A big addition to the offensive line with 3-time Pro Bowler Mike Pouncey signing a 2-year deal with the Chargers. Pouncey played his first 7 seasons in Miami. Do-it-all safety Derwin James will call Los Angeles home. The Chargers took the talented FSU product with the 17th overall pick in the draft.
And that is picked off. Casey Hayward with another interception.
Pro Bowl cornerback Casey Hayward stays put in the Los Angeles secondary. He signed a 3-year, $33 million extension in March. Hayward's tallied 11 interceptions in 2 seasons with the Chargers.
Davis Bryant and Jordy Nelson. These guys are going to help this receiving core kind of find their identity. I mean, we've seen Amari Cooper have some really good games, but then we've seen him disappear. And it's not a knock towards him. It's just trying to figure out a way to have a level of consistency. And Jordy Nelson is going to help not only Amari Cooper, but also Martavis Bryant in that. I mean, how familiar were we with Jordy when he is in Green Bay? And it seemed like every single game he's getting in the end zone. Every single touchdown is him going up the sideline, him running the seam route, and Aaron Rodgers is dropping a dime on him. He can bring that same type of energy, that same type of consistency, that same type of route running. So for me, it's finding how to get Amari Cooper to be a better receiver, finding how to get Martavis to be a better receiver, because we've been waiting for this Martavis project to take shape. Yeah. Like when he was in Pittsburgh, we were thinking, okay, all right, now he's gonna make that leap to be number 2.
Step up.
If he would have did that, they wouldn't have got rid of him, and Juju Smith-Schuster wouldn't be the number 2 next to Antonio Brown. But now he's in a perfect position where he's kind of starting from scratch. You got 2 really good receivers. So at some point in the game, these guys are all going to see single coverage. That's how good they are, which for a wide receiver is the perfect situation to be in.
Sean, we have so much to add. I want to hear from you. I want to follow there here. We do a segment here called Not New Jersey. Yeah. All right? And it's jerseys that are obscure, or sometimes it's great players late in their career who wear a jersey, like Tim Brown wearing the Buccaneers or Isaac Bruce wearing the Niners. Yeah. I'm looking at Jordy Nelson. He's wearing a number 82 for the Oakland Raiders. It looks odd. I don't want that to become a Not New Jersey. Nate, why are you confident that it won't, that he's still going to play Jordy Nelson football in that New Jersey?
Because as much as we gave Aaron Rodgers credit for everything that he does and all the success of the wide receivers that he's played with, I think oftentimes we forget how good Jordy Nelson was. And, you know, we always keep it real in this show. For a while, Jordy Nelson was in Green Bay, smaller market. He's a white receiver.
Yeah.
Not flamboyant. He doesn't talk.
Rodgers calls him White Lightning.
Yeah, White Lightning. He's always a guy that's a little understated. And when you're in a league where the loud guys that are also talented usually steal the headline, you don't get as much credit as you deserve. Okay. He might quietly get in the Pro Bowl. That's fine. But I don't think people realize how good of a wide receiver is, just all the way around. Speed, route running, ability to catch the ball. He brings that consistency to this team, and then you got other 2 receivers playing well. Yeah. They're going to do great things.
Jordy was so money in the red zone. He was AR's go-to guy.
Yeah.
So for Raider Nation, who's probably just waking up now on the West Coast, I kind of felt for them last year. And I felt like last season for the Raiders, it was kind of like when you see a trailer for a movie.
Okay.
And you're like, wow, that movie's going to be awesome. It's funny, it had action.
Yeah.
And then you go see the movie, and the movie bombs. Mm-hmm. It's awful.
Solo.
And you walk out and you say, all the best parts of the movie were in the trailer.
Yeah.
Always.
We've all been there. We've done that. That is what the Raiders felt like to me last year. Because when they went out and signed Marshawn Lynch, and they brought him out of retirement, he took the cleats off of the telephone wire.
He was waiting.
And he came back. We were all talking about, man, is Marshawn going to have 1,000 yards? What's this offense going to look like?
Scintillating trailer.
The Raiders are back. I mean, are they favorites to win the division? He's behind one of the best O-lines in the NFL. This is what we thought we were going to see Marshawn Lynch doing all year long.
Yeah, you're right.
And it just never really transpired. Beast mode, you know, was on the sideline. I mean, he got thrown out of a game. It was just, he danced on the sidelines briefly, but it wasn't the ground and pound offense we thought we were going to be. And I think for the Raiders, I mean, certainly a disappointing season, but just the way the offense, 25th in rushing, behind, with those big hogs up front, with Marshawn Lynch.
Right.
I think that's the remedy to me, and that's how you get back to recovery. And instead of the Raiders of the Lost Ark, we're talking about the Temple of Gruden, you know, and they're going back to the silver and black that everybody loved and appreciated. Great running game, great offense, and maybe a good defense.
Let's hope so. You know, I tried to hype up the defense a couple weeks ago on the Raiders, and I just got clowned on Twitter. This guy's sitting here saying the Raiders have a defense. I've done a deep dive in this. The Raiders have an ace in the hole. Let me show you what I mean. They have guys that you did not count on, that you did not know about. Let's talk about this draft class because it's a super draft class. Let me show you what I mean. Look at these 4 guys. A couple of them are not from this year. This is the influx of defensive talent the Raiders are going to get this year. Garyon Conley was a first-round corner in last year's draft, missed most of the season. They got him. Obi Melifonwu, second-round safety last year, got hurt, missed most of the season. So we got 2 impactful defensive backs coming in. Then, Maurice Hurst. This is a guy they drafted in the 5th round. However, first-round talent defensive tackle had a heart condition, so he fell. PFF had number 3 overall in their mock draft before overall. So they got crazy value there. And the last guy, Arden Key, 3rd rounder they took this year, again, first-round talent, little off-the-field concerns. So the Raiders said, we're taking it. We're going to take 2 first-round talents in the 3rd, in the 5th, and we're getting our 1st and 2nd guys from last year. Everybody knows Khalil Mack. But there is a little storm brewing in the Raiders' defense, and it is a storm of talent and value. Laugh at me all you want. I think the Silver and Black's going to play some defense this year, and that AFC West, they better.
Kyle, just to piggyback the defense, they got that talent there. Kind of the unsung hero of this defense could be Paul Gunther, the defensive coordinator.
Oh, yes.
They plucked him from Cincinnati.
Great call.
I think he could be great for these young guys. He does a great job at the line of scrimmage. I mean, I remember watching film on him when he's playing Peyton Manning and how he's got safeties at the line of scrimmage and they're bailing out right at the snap, trying to confuse the quarterback. So that could be huge. You might see Reggie Nelson kind of come back and lead the league in interceptions like he did a couple years ago. And I know Raiders fans, they're hoping they don't have to wait.
Now, Willie, are the Chiefs a playoff team with patty cakes under center?
Patty cakes. I'm going to say they're a really good team, but I think he will struggle a little bit for the very thing that he said. He's very confident with great arm talent, which means he will take chances. He will struggle a little bit trying to fit the balls in certain windows and taking chances. His technique still needs a little bit of work. He's raw, but I think that in about a year or two, he'll be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but just not yet.
Not yet. MJD, my brother is a Raiders fan. I'd like to know what I could tell him is a reasonable expectation for them this year, because I don't want him getting his hopes up and being all sad at Christmas.
No, well, I'll say this. John Gruden's been with the Raiders. He's been with some teams, and he hasn't had great success because of the quarterback position. I think Derek Carr is the best quarterback that he's had in his career. And I think with that being said, adding Paul Gunther around, I think the playoffs are a reasonable expectation for the Raiders to get a chance to get that running game going. You got Marshawn Lynch, Doug Martin, some veteran guys. Get it going. Play action pass with Derek Carr, that live arm. I think you'll be fine.
All right. Get those expectations.
Oh, and we got to get Khalil Mack back in the building. He has to be.
I was about to say there's one big thing you left out.
I'm sorry. I was an offensive guy.
And he's like, wait, I'm not done. How about the Broncos? Will we see the same Case Keenum there that we saw in Mini last year?
Most definitely. He's with Kubiak. He was with Coach Musgrave. And he's with John Elway. So they won a Super Bowl. They went to the playoffs as well. So did Case Keenum. So I believe he can do the same thing here with the Broncos. And I have high hopes for him. And best of luck to you, young man. Do your thing.
Former teammate with the Rams, right?
Former teammate with the Rams. Case Keenum, underdog.
Okay. Here's the big question, right? Who wins this division, Willie?
None of the teams we talked about. I'm going to say the L.A. Chargers. Yeah, this is a team that lost, 4 games by a field goal or less. They're going to get that straightened out. They're going to make their field goals. But this team defensively got better. They got better at the safety position, at the linebacker position. Offensively, we know they can score points. I would say from what happened last year, the anticipation, I got them.
Okay, we still got time. What do you think?
The Raiders.
Period.
Yeah, the Raiders for sure. The offensive line is too huge. It's hard to get past them.
That's
the Raiders.
That was easy.
All you need is a big offensive line.
Gus, I'm sorry.
They're insanely huge. They're insanely huge.
The Raiders.
Why are you apologizing?
That's
if you
my
believe in
guy.
the Raiders?
Because that's my guy. Okay. And I love Gus.
No love for Kansas City.
Young quarterback. It's hard to win a championship.
You got beast mode over there too.
Or Denver.
If you hoeing and he pipping you, try it for 30 days. I ain't lying. Hey, y'all got about 5 minutes in the group. Y'all about 5 more. 4 more.
Marshawn is real. What you see is what you get. Like it or love it, you know. Hate it or love it. And, you know, I think that's one thing I appreciate about him. And I think one thing that's overlooked is how big his heart is. You know, he not only gives back to his family, gives back to his community, but he's not looking to, you know, he would do all this stuff if there was no cameras here. So that lets you know it's coming from a real place, a sincere place. And this is it's something that inspires me. I'm leaving right now to go to my first amateur boxing tournament, which is the equivalent of my camp for a fighter, to try to give back and encourage the youngsters that are coming up behind me. So, yeah, reach one, teach one. It's beautiful.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
He cares a lot about his hometown and his community. Look at these kids. There's 400 or 500 kids out here, and not one of them have to pay. They're getting cleats now. They're getting food. And they're getting experience. It's Marshawn Lynch. You know what I'm saying?
Good finish. Good finish.
It's helping you get better at the game that you like to play and love. If you like football, you're going to love it pretty much, because I like it.
Good lean, good lean, good lean. Pump, 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 pump. Scoop it up. Go, 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 go.
Marshawn Lynch is really big in Oakland. You know, he's been doing a lot for the community, carnivals, camps, and I think everybody is like used to Marshawn Lynch doing this, and they came out to have fun.
What team do I coach? What's your favorite team? Let me hear you say that real loud. I love it. I got a lot of respect for the kind of athletes and the kind of coaches that have come out of this place. I was here 20 years ago. I'm coaching one of the great ones in Marshawn Lynch. And for kids not to be afforded a chance to play, for a high school football team to have a $450 budget bothers me. Fortunately, I've met some people at Dick's Sporting Goods that are really taking it personal, and I'm excited about it. Dick's Sporting Goods has created a Sports Matters program, and we're giving back, man. We're trying to save youth sports so you can play and have fun. This is a reaction drill. Listen up, man. You got to be able to think and react quick. Are you guys with me? Yeah. All right, you got to do exactly what I do. Everybody ready? Yes. Yeah. Ah! Yeah. Ah! 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 Not quick enough. Good. We have any quarterbacks? Yeah.
I want to donate some money to you guys, and the Raiders are going to match it, so we want to present both you guys with a check for $15,000, and that ought to buy yourself some mouthpieces and some footballers, man. So, there you go.
Appreciate it. We were just ecstatic by the amount that was given. It'll fill so many voids that we have, whether it's equipment, whether it's with traveling and food. It helps tremendously.
All right, you, my friend, you're going to be a wide receiver. You know, you don't get what sports gives you in a book. You don't get it laying on your couch. You know, you don't learn about physical and mental toughness playing video games. You know, these kids are going to get a chance to compete and learn about teamwork and sportsmanship and work ethic and all the things that go a long way. So it brings tears to my eyes. It warms my heart to be a part of this.
So we're here today and we're doing our uniform shoot for the 2018 season. We have a new vest and we have some new detail on our uniform, and so it was so fun to finally get to see it in person and try it on. It's my first year as a Raiderette, so just putting on the uniform, it finally became real. It's just really, really awesome to feel like somewhat of a celebrity for a day and be pampered the way we are, and we're having so much fun. The photographers, the makeup, and the hair just make you feel so beautiful. So it's a really fun day, really glamorous and special. Never gonna forget it.
PJ, come on. They tripping. Tell me, would you get on that? You couldn't pay me to get on that.
What's up, Raider Nation? We're out here at Six Flags. Getting ready to have a good time.
Oh my God. Oh no. Oh, okay. Oh my God.
You're going to play together with these guys. You spend X amount of time on the field, but you do have to have a little bit of chemistry with them off the field as well to feel that family feeling.
You know, as me and my brother Colton here, we're a little bit above the 6'6" height limit, but today we're going to shrink down a little bit so we can fit on there. So we're going to make it work today. Is this going to work?
Let me ask them up there.
I don't want to. I was meant to prepare for this. I'll let them have fun, you know.
There's no way. No way. I can't even watch you.
Guys, it was a fun day. Time to go. We're hot, we're tired, and we're ready to get in bed. So, see you.
This family was established by the late, great Al Davis.
and he was responsible for bringing everyone on this panel into this family. The tradition carries on with you.
I hadn't been out here in probably 3 years, and it's like you've never been away from here, man. And just everybody welcomed me right back in. It's funny because I was getting dropped off back here in the back, and then just walking up, I'm like, dang, it's like it started all over again. But it's definitely a cool feeling just to be out here, man, and to be welcomed the way that I am. That's one thing that you always got to do, man, is go out there, grind hard, man. You know, anytime you can go out there and impress your coach with what you do on the field, on top of being on time and doing what you're supposed to do and taking care of your business off the field, man, that'll go a long way with coaching, man. You know, that was my main thing on me. I just want to let them know, like, you got to go out there and work, grind, man, and don't feel like you've arrived already and you just that guy. Justin Fargas was one of my veteran running backs, and Michael Bush, those guys were ahead of me when I came in, and those were two of the guys that I really talked to a whole lot, man, and just asked for advice because we were all in the same room together. And so just to have somebody who's already walked those shoes that you're trying to walk, man, it was a blessing for me, especially with veterans like that. And that's one of my things, just being able to have guys to lean on and talk to, man, it was a great blessing. The Raiders made me the player that I became, dealing with having to deal with injuries and not winning seasons and things like that. It made you become a better player, and I feel like it made me work harder and made me even more hungry. And
if there's anything we've ever done that I'm particularly proud of, I would have to say that the perpetuation of the greatness of the Raiders, to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others.
I'm going to tell you something, man. If you guys don't know how big a win that was, you'll know tomorrow. It's a hell of a win. It's a team effort. Offense, defense, special teams. Now, the effort was outstanding. Outstanding.